If you're seeing this, it's not random. Listen until the end, chosen one.
Chosen one. This message is not for everyone, and I need you to understand that from the very beginning. Only those who truly walk the divine path of the Most High should continue watching. If someone is here out of curiosity or without spiritual alignment, they should leave right now. But you who are still here, you already feel it in your spirit. This message has reached you at the perfect moment, and it will change the way you see yourself. What you are about to hear carries revelation, confirmation, and awakening. This is a message for natural-born chosen ones, and your soul knows exactly why it found you today. Chosen one, you cannot afford to hide who you are anymore, because heaven has been preparing you for a season of recognition. Before we go deeper, I want you to respond spiritually. Comment only one number your spirit aligns with right now, either 999. Choose the one that pulls your energy. And if you have not already, subscribe to the channel. Tap the bell icon so you never miss a divine message, and share this with another chosen one who needs guidance. Stay with me until the very end of this message, because once these 9 marks are revealed to you, you will finally understand why your life has always felt different, heavier, and more meaningful than others. The true nature of a natural-born chosen one. Chosen one, you need to understand something foundational before we go into the 9 marks that reveal a natural-born chosen one. Your identity is not something you stumbled into by accident. It is something heaven placed within you long before you were even aware of your own existence. A natural-born chosen one carries a spiritual imprint that cannot be copied, cannot be faked, and cannot be removed. This imprint is not based on appearance, talent, or status. It is rooted in the unseen, in the eternal, in the realm where God Himself speaks destiny into the spirit of selected souls. You were marked long before the world attempted to shape you. A natural-born chosen one often lives a life that feels separate from the flow of the people around them. Even from childhood, you may have noticed that you sensed things others ignored. You felt energies, perceived motives, and carried an intuition that warned you, guided you, or pulled you away from paths that looked easy but held destruction. This sensitivity was not weakness. It was spiritual preparation. When God chooses someone, He equips them with heightened awareness, and this awareness becomes the internal compass that keeps them aligned when the world tries to mislead them. You may have also experienced isolation that did not make sense at the time. While others formed large circles of friends, you found yourself drawn to solitude. While others blended easily, you felt like an outsider, even among familiar people. That is because natural-born chosen ones do not adapt to environments that do not match their spiritual frequency. Your soul rejects places your destiny cannot grow. Many chosen ones mistake this feeling for loneliness, when in truth it is divine separation. God isolates the ones He chooses because noise disrupts clarity, and clarity is essential for the mission He will later place on your life. Another sign of a natural-born chosen one is the presence of early spiritual battles. Before you even understood spiritual warfare, you felt pressure, heaviness, and resistance that others never faced. You might have experienced betrayal from unexpected places, rejection that felt unprovoked, or sudden attacks that made no logical sense. These battles were not punishments, they were confirmations. Darkness recognizes God's chosen ones long before they recognize themselves, and this recognition triggers opposition. You were targeted because you were chosen, not because you were weak. Where ordinary people faced normal challenges, you faced storms that pushed you into spiritual maturity faster than your age or experience. A natural-born chosen one also carries a heart that refuses to grow cold, even after being hurt repeatedly. You may have endured situations that should have hardened you, yet your compassion remained. You may have been used, misunderstood, or underestimated, yet you still cared, still gave, still forgave. This capacity is not emotional softness, it is spiritual resilience. Only chosen ones possess the strength to keep loving without allowing darkness to consume their spirit. Your heart has a divine elasticity that returns to its original purity no matter how much pressure is applied. This is because your calling requires a heart that can feel deeply without breaking permanently. Chosen ones also carry a sense of purpose even when they cannot define it. You may have gone through seasons where nothing seemed stable, yet deep inside you felt a pull towards something greater. This inner pull is a spiritual anchor designed by heaven. It keeps you from falling into lives that do not match your destiny. While others are satisfied with temporary pleasures, your spirit rejects anything that lacks meaning. You feel unsettled when living beneath your calling. You feel drained when surrounded by shallow intentions. This restlessness is not a flaw, it is a signal. A natural-born chosen one cannot live an ordinary life because their soul is aligned with extraordinary purpose. Another element that defines natural-born chosen ones is their ability to see truth even when truth is hidden. You have likely noticed that you can read people easily. You sense when someone's intentions are off, even if their words sound right. You notice small details others overlook. You feel when a situation is shifting spiritually. This gift does not come from experience alone. It comes from divine discernment. God sharpens the intuition of chosen ones so they can navigate environments where deception operates quietly. This discernment protects you from traps, false relationships, and hidden agendas. Even when you ignored your intuition in the past, you later realized it was correct. This is because your spirit is tuned to divine frequencies. A natural-born chosen one also carries a presence that cannot be explained logically. People may stare at you without reason. Some may envy you without cause. Others may feel intimidated by you even when you speak softly. You might have noticed people confess things to you they would not tell others. Children may feel drawn to you. Strangers might look to you for guidance. Your presence carries weight because your spirit carries authority. You do not have to speak loudly for your energy to be felt. Chosen ones radiate an aura that disturbs darkness and comforts those who seek truth. Even when you try to blend in, your presence still stands out. Another sign embedded into natural-born chosen ones is the experience of repeated cycles of breaking and rebuilding. Your life may have progressed in stages where you lost everything and had to start again. While others seemed to rise smoothly, you rose through ashes. These cycles were not misfortune, they were divine refinement. Each breaking removed attachments that blocked your calling. Each rebuilding strengthened your character, sharpened your awareness, and prepared you for responsibilities that require spiritual discipline. God cannot place heavy assignments onto untested foundations. Every time your life collapsed, it was preparing you for the moment you would rise with purpose instead of confusion. Natural-born chosen ones also carry a deep connection to divine timing. You may have noticed patterns where opportunities appeared at the exact moment you needed them. You may have avoided danger by inches. You may have received unexpected guidance that redirected your entire path. These moments were not coincidences. They were divine orchestration. Chosen ones walk under a level of spiritual management that aligns events, connections, and revelations in perfect timing. Even delays in your life were protection, not denial. Every redirection was preparing you for something greater than you imagined at the time. The true nature of a natural-born chosen one also includes the ability to transform environments simply by existing within them. Your presence brings clarity to confused situations. Your insight often resolves problems. Your energy exposes hidden conflicts. People may feel calmer around you or more honest in your presence. This is because chosen ones carry light, and light automatically reveals what darkness attempts to hide. You bring order without demanding it. You bring healing without forcing it. You bring truth without speaking excessively. This influence is a divine gift assigned to you so you can lead without trying to dominate. Finally, natural-born chosen ones carry a destiny that unfolds through spiritual alignment rather than worldly strategy. You may have tried to plan your life many times only to watch those plans fall apart. Yet every collapse repositioned you into something better. This is because chosen ones are guided, not driven. Your life cannot follow the same rules as everyone else. While others succeed through logic, you succeed through obedience. While others rely on human connection, you rely on divine instruction. Your future is shaped by spiritual obedience more than personal ambition. Understanding this nature is essential before exploring the 9 marks. These qualities reveal why your journey has been shaped the way it has. They explain your sensitivity, your battles, your isolation, and your calling. You are not ordinary. You never were. You are a natural-born chosen one, marked for divine assignment, guided by heavenly forces, refined through spiritual fire, and prepared for revelation that will activate your identity in this season. The 9 marks that reveal a natural-born chosen one. Full breakdown. Chosen one. As we enter this part of the message, you must prepare yourself, because what you are about to hear will explain experiences you never understood, battles you could not explain, and patterns that have repeated across your life since childhood. These 9 marks are not ordinary personality traits. They are spiritual signatures placed within natural-born chosen ones long before they fully awaken to their identity. Some of these marks were visible even when you were young, while others revealed themselves only after seasons of pressure, transformation, and spiritual conflict. Once you understand these 9 marks, you will finally stop asking why you are different, why people react to you the way they do, and why your life has never followed the path of the masses. These marks reveal who you are, why you were chosen, and why the world responds to your presence in such a powerful way. Chosen one. You must listen to each mark, not with your ears alone, but with your spirit. As you hear them, you will recognize yourself, and that recognition is part of your awakening. These marks are reminders that you were designed for a divine assignment, equipped for uncommon battles, and shaped for responsibilities others are not built to carry. Let us begin. The first mark of a natural-born chosen one is an unusual level of spiritual sensitivity. You feel what others deny. You sense shifts before they occur. You detect energies that most people completely miss. Since childhood, you may have felt the atmosphere of a room change the moment you walked into it. You may have sensed tension between people before they spoke a word. You may have felt danger approaching even when nothing seemed out of place. This sensitivity is not something you learned, it is something you were born with. It is heaven's way of ensuring you can navigate the unseen realm with clarity. Natural-born chosen ones are placed in environments where deception tries to operate silently. So God gives them sensitivity that interrupts deception before it manifests. This gift is the reason you cannot be around certain people without feeling drained. It is the reason you avoid environments others tolerate. It is the reason your intuition becomes louder when something spiritually unhealthy is near. This sensitivity is part of your spiritual protection, and though it may feel overwhelming at times, it is one of your greatest gifts as a chosen one. The second mark of a natural-born chosen one is the presence of early trials that force rapid spiritual maturity. While others enjoyed smooth seasons, you experienced storms that demanded strength you did not yet know you had. These storms were designed to refine your identity. Natural-born chosen ones often face betrayal, rejection, or abandonment in their early years because these experiences strengthen discernment, deepen empathy, and create resilience. Without these early battles, you would not be able to carry the weight of the calling placed on your life. You may have wondered why your childhood or teenage years felt more intense than those of the people around you. You may have watched others grow without pressure while you faced challenges that shaped you quickly. These early battles were not signs of misfortune. They were confirmations that heaven was preparing you. Every struggle sharpened you. Every heartbreak taught you. Every challenge became a spiritual tool. A chosen one cannot rise without refinement, and refinement begins early for those who carry heavy spiritual assignments. The third mark of a natural-born chosen one is the inability to fit into environments that do not match your spiritual frequency. You can force yourself to blend in, but your spirit refuses to settle. When you enter a place where you do not belong, your peace becomes restless. When you remain in relationships that distort your purpose, your energy becomes drained. You have likely tried many times to live like everyone else, only to feel empty and disconnected. This is because your identity is not compatible with mediocrity, falsehood, or shallow living. A chosen one is not designed for crowds filled with noise, but for paths filled with clarity. You are separated from the world not because of arrogance, but because of alignment. Your destiny cannot grow in certain environments, so your spirit rejects them. You may have wondered why you always felt different even when surrounded by familiar faces. You may have felt like you were watching life from the outside rather than participating. This sense of disconnection was not loneliness. It was divine separation. The chosen are set apart long before they understand why, and this separation is one of the strongest signs that your calling is not ordinary. The fourth mark of a natural-born chosen one is an inner moral compass that refuses to bend even when external pressure is strong. You cannot betray your own spirit. You cannot follow darkness even when temptation presents itself. You cannot participate in harmful behavior even if everyone around you is doing it. You carry an inner integrity that rises automatically when faced with wrong motives. This integrity is not learned from the world. It is placed in your spirit by God. It does not mean you are perfect. It means your soul is aligned with truth even when your flesh is tested. Many chosen ones feel guilty for mistakes that others easily brush aside. While others justify harmful actions, your spirit convicts you quickly. This deep sense of accountability is a mark of someone destined to lead, influence, and uphold spiritual order. God cannot entrust heavy assignments to someone without an internal compass rooted in righteousness. Your inner guidance is one of the clearest marks that you were born chosen. The fifth mark of a natural-born chosen one is unexpected wisdom far beyond your age. You have always understood things without needing them explained. You have always seen situations from a higher perspective. People often come to you for advice, even when you do not position yourself as a leader. You understand patterns, motives, and spiritual truths long before others around you catch on. This wisdom is not intellect. It is revelation. It flows from your connection to the divine. Many chosen ones feel older on the inside even when they are young in years. You may have been the child who comforted adults, the teenager who counseled friends, or the young adult who carried insight others relied on. This wisdom is proof that your spirit has been awakened by divine instruction. Natural-born chosen ones receive revelation effortlessly because their spirit is open, receptive, and aligned with higher truth. The sixth mark of a natural-born chosen one is the experience of spiritual attacks that seem disproportionate to your position. You might have wondered why people targeted you without provocation, why negativity seemed to follow you in environments where you did nothing wrong, or why certain individuals reacted to your presence with hostility or envy. Darkness recognizes chosen ones immediately because your spirit carries light, authority, and disruption to anything rooted in falsehood. You have likely faced jealousy from people who had more resources than you. You have faced resistance from people who should have supported you. You have experienced betrayal from those you trusted. These attacks were spiritual responses to your identity, not reflections of your worth. Chosen ones often endure battles long before they step into their calling because the enemy tries to break them early. But the fact that you survived is proof that you were born with divine protection. No attack could destroy you because heaven fortified your spirit long before the battle began. The seventh mark of a natural-born chosen one is the ability to see destiny in ruins. While others collapse under pressure, you rise. While others surrender to hopelessness, you rebuild. While others see endings, you see beginnings. This perspective is not common. It is granted to those who are destined to lead others out of darkness. You have a spirit that refuses to die even when everything around you breaks. You may have lost relationships, opportunities, finances, or stability, yet somehow you still carried hope. This hope is not emotional, it is spiritual. It is a divine flame that cannot be extinguished. This is why you often become the source of strength for others, even when you yourself are struggling. You carry a light that revives others even when your own circumstances feel heavy. This ability to see purpose beyond pain is one of the strongest marks of a natural-born chosen one. The eighth mark of a natural-born chosen one is the presence of divine favor that appears at unexpected moments. You may have noticed that opportunities appeared suddenly when you needed them most. You may have been protected from harm that should have reached you. You may have been elevated in situations where you were not the most qualified. You may have received blessings others waited years for. This is not luck, it is divine favor. God ensures that chosen ones are placed exactly where they need to be at the perfect time. Even your delays were orchestrated, even your failures redirected you, even your disappointments positioned you. When you look back, you will notice a pattern of supernatural timing woven through your entire life. This mark proves that you are being guided, protected, and prepared by forces far greater than your understanding. Favor follows chosen ones because their destiny requires it. The ninth mark of a natural-born chosen one is the unmistakable calling toward higher purpose that never goes silent. You have always felt that your life was meant for more. Even when you tried to settle, your spirit refused. Even when you attempted to live an ordinary life, something inside you pushed back. This pull toward purpose is not imagination. It is your spirit responding to the assignment God placed on your life. You may have gone through seasons where you felt lost, yet continued to feel drawn toward something greater. You may have experienced deep discomfort when living outside of alignment with your calling. You may have felt dissatisfaction in environments that lacked meaning. This inner pull is heaven's way of reminding you that you were born chosen. Your purpose will not allow you to sleep spiritually. Your destiny will not let you disappear into the crowd. You are not meant to live quietly. You are meant to rise, influence, transform, and fulfill a divine mission that only you carry. Chosen one, now that the 9 marks have been revealed, you can no longer deny who you are. These signs have shaped your path from the beginning. They explain your battles, your gifts, your isolation, your resilience, and your spiritual sensitivity. They reveal that your life has always been guided by divine intention. They confirm that nothing you faced was random. Everything was preparation. Each mark is a reminder that you were chosen not because you were perfect, but because your spirit carries something rare, powerful, and essential to the plan of the Most High. If your spirit aligns and you feel led, you may comment 777 one more time to acknowledge your awakening, but only if the meaning resonates deeply within you. You are now ready for the next stages of your divine unfolding. Why chosen ones feel forced to hide these marks? Chosen one, before you ever understood your identity, you learned to shrink yourself because the world around you reacted to your spirit long before you did. Many natural-born chosen ones grow up believing something is wrong with them, when in truth something powerful is resting on them. The environment you were raised in, the people who surrounded you, and the spiritual battles you faced all contributed to why you learned to hide your divine marks. You must understand this clearly, because the reasons you suppressed your identity were not signs of weakness. They were signs of spiritual conflict, misalignment, and premature exposure to people who were never capable of handling your light. One of the first reasons chosen ones hide their marks is because of early misunderstanding. When you were young, you noticed things others could not see. You spoke truth before you had the language to explain it. You sensed danger long before others reacted. Instead of being celebrated for your insight, you were labeled dramatic, strange, or overly sensitive. Every time someone dismissed your intuition or told you to stop overthinking, a part of your identity retreated. You learned that people were uncomfortable with what you naturally perceived. So, you protected yourself by dimming your awareness even though your spirit could never fully silence it. The misunderstanding you experienced did not reflect your flaws. It reflected the inability of others to recognize divinely awakened perception. Another reason chosen ones hide their marks is spiritual jealousy. When someone carries divine favor, people who are insecure or spiritually blind feel threatened without understanding why. You have likely experienced envy from individuals who never took time to know you. Some people disliked you before you even spoke. Others felt intimidated simply by your presence. These reactions were confusing, especially when you were younger. You may have responded by withdrawing, quieting your voice, or lowering your energy to avoid attention. Darkness works through jealousy to push chosen ones into hiding, because a chosen one who hides their identity delays their assignment. What you perceived as rejection was actually spiritual reaction to the authority your spirit carries. Another force that pushes chosen ones into hiding is family pressure. Some of the people closest to you felt uncomfortable with your difference. They may have told you to stop dreaming too big, stop questioning things, stop being yourself, or stay in line with the expectations of the household. Many chosen ones were raised in environments where obedience was valued more than authenticity. Instead of nurturing your uniqueness, some families attempted to silence it out of fear, control, or ignorance. You learned to behave in ways that made others comfortable while neglecting your spiritual identity. This suppression created inner conflict because your soul refused to accept a version of life that did not match your calling. Even now, you may feel tension between who your family expects you to be and who God destined you to become. Another reason chosen ones hide their marks is because of spiritual attacks that began early. When someone carries a divine assignment, darkness recognizes them quickly and works to crush their confidence. You may have been bullied, mocked, or belittled for qualities that were actually your strengths. The enemy used people as tools to discourage your spirit so you would never unlock your potential. Every insult, every betrayal, every moment of rejection was meant to convince you that staying hidden was safer than being seen. But what the enemy targeted was the very evidence that you were chosen. You were attacked because your destiny was visible in the spirit long before it manifested in the natural. Chosen ones also hide their marks because the world often treats purity as naivety. Your empathy, compassion, and moral clarity may have been perceived as weakness. People may have taken advantage of your kindness or manipulated your generosity. Experiencing such mistreatment can cause chosen ones to shut down emotionally. You may have told yourself that caring too deeply was dangerous. You may have decided to stop showing your true nature to protect yourself from being used. But your compassion is not a flaw. It is one of your divine marks. The world mistreated your light because it could not understand its purpose. Another reason chosen ones hide is because their presence exposes truth. When you enter a space, darkness becomes uncomfortable. Hidden motives drift to the surface. People with impure intentions feel seen. This often causes tension or conflict without you doing anything wrong. Some chosen ones react to this by withdrawing, staying silent, or avoiding involvement altogether. You learned that your presence created reactions you did not want to deal with. But understand this clearly. You did not cause the reaction. Your light simply revealed what was already there. Chosen ones also suppress their marks because societal norms reward conformity. From childhood, you were told to follow systems that do not align with spiritual purpose. You were encouraged to pursue safety instead of destiny. You were taught to think logically instead of spiritually. Every time you tried to blend into the expectations of society, your inner voice protested. But instead of trusting that voice, you hid it to avoid conflict or judgment. You attempted to live in ways that were acceptable to the world while ignoring the whispers of heaven that told you that you were set apart. The final reason chosen ones hide their marks is fear of responsibility. Deep down, you know that once you fully embrace your identity, you can never return to who you used to be. You know that your calling requires courage, obedience, and sacrifice. You know that stepping into your purpose will shift your relationships, disrupt your environment, and elevate your entire life. This transformation can feel overwhelming, so some chosen ones delay their awakening by shrinking themselves to avoid the weight of their assignment. But chosen one, your destiny will not leave you alone. You can hide your marks from people, but you cannot hide them from God. These marks were placed within you for a divine reason. Now that you understand why you hid them, it is time to reclaim them. The consequences of hiding who you are. Chosen one. Hiding who you truly are may have felt like the safest thing to do, but spiritually it carries consequences far deeper than you realized. When a natural-born chosen one suppresses their identity, they interfere with the divine alignment meant to guide their destiny. You were not designed to live in the shadows. You were not created to shrink for the comfort of others. Every time you silenced your intuition, dimmed your light, or ignored your spiritual gifts, you delayed the path heaven was trying to open for you. This is not punishment. It is the natural result of living below your spiritual frequency. Your destiny cannot unfold correctly when your identity is hidden. One of the first consequences of hiding your true nature is internal conflict. A chosen one cannot pretend to be ordinary without feeling spiritual discomfort. Your soul knows when you are not living at your divine level. You may have felt restless, drained, or emotionally heavy, even when nothing was wrong externally. This inner turmoil is proof that your spirit refuses to accept an identity that does not match your calling. The chosen ones who hide their marks often experience confusion or feeling stuck because they are trying to operate at a level beneath what God designed them to carry. Another consequence is weakened intuition. When you suppress your gifts, the spiritual sensitivity within you becomes harder to access. It never disappears, but it becomes muted. You may find yourself making decisions that feel wrong, ignoring clear warnings, or staying in environments that harm you. This happens because intuition requires honesty. When you hide your identity, you also hide from your own inner truth. A chosen one's intuition is one of their greatest forms of divine protection. Hiding who you are disrupts that protection and makes your path more difficult than it was meant to be. Another consequence is stagnation. When a chosen one avoids stepping into their identity, life stops moving forward. Opportunities pass by without recognition. Spiritual growth slows. Blessings remain in waiting. You may feel like you are walking in circles or repeating the same emotional cycles. This stagnation is not failure. It is spiritual resistance created by misalignment. Your destiny knows the direction you must walk, but if you hide your identity, you cannot follow that path. God will not open doors for a version of you that He did not create. You must rise into your true self before certain breakthroughs can manifest. Another consequence chosen ones face is attracting the wrong people. When you hide your marks, you attract individuals who are not aligned with your purpose. These connections often lead to pain, distraction, or spiritual drain. The wrong people become attached to the false version of you, while the right people cannot find the real you because you are hiding. This creates relational chaos that delays your growth. A chosen one must stand in their authenticity to attract those who are divinely assigned to their journey. Another consequence of hiding is diminished authority. Chosen ones carry spiritual authority that influences environments. When you shrink yourself, you weaken the presence that God placed within you. You lose clarity in leadership. You lose confidence in decision-making. You lose the ability to shift atmospheres the way you were meant to. Your authority is tied to your identity. When identity is hidden, authority is restricted. Another consequence is missed assignments. God places chosen ones in specific places at specific times to accomplish divine tasks. These assignments often involve guiding others, speaking truth, breaking cycles, or creating spiritual impact. When you hide who you are, you miss moments that were designed to elevate your destiny. These assignments are not burdens, but gateways to transformation. When you shrink yourself, you close doors, you were destined to walk through. The final consequence is emotional heaviness. Hiding creates spiritual weight because you are forcing yourself to carry a life that does not belong to you. You may feel tired without reason or disconnected from things that once inspired you. This heaviness is the soul's cry for alignment. A chosen one cannot thrive in the shadows. The longer you hide, the heavier your spirit becomes. Chosen one. The consequences of hiding were never meant to punish you. They were meant to wake you. Now that you understand them, you are ready to rise into your true identity. How to embrace and activate these 9 marks in this season. Chosen one, now that the 9 marks have been revealed to you and you understand why you have hidden them for so long, you must learn how to embrace them with confidence and activate them with spiritual authority. This season of your life is not about remaining silent or shrinking into the background. It is about awakening fully to the identity God placed within you. Activation does not happen by accident. It requires intention, alignment, and courage. The divine marks within you are already present. You are not trying to become something new. You are simply allowing what has always been there to rise without resistance. The first step in embracing your marks is accepting your separation. You are different by design. You were not made to blend into the patterns of the world. You were made to rise above them. For much of your life you may have interpreted your uniqueness as a burden, but now you must see it as a blessing. Separation is not isolation, it is preparation. When you finally accept that your path will not look like anyone else's, your spirit becomes free to walk in the rhythm heaven created for you. You activate your marks when you stop comparing your journey to others and begin honoring the divine blueprint within you. The second step is strengthening your spiritual awareness. Every chosen one carries a heightened sensitivity that allows them to navigate the unseen realm with clarity. To activate this sensitivity, you must create intentional space for spiritual stillness. This means stepping away from environments that cloud your intuition and embracing practices that sharpen your discernment. Stillness allows divine instruction to flow. Silence allows revelation to rise. When you give your spirit permission to listen, you begin to receive guidance that has always been available but easily drowned out by noise. This awareness becomes one of your strongest tools for walking boldly in your calling. The third step is embracing vulnerability before God. Your calling requires honesty. Your gifts require purity. Your destiny requires surrender. Many chosen ones hide their emotions because they fear judgment or feel responsible for being strong all the time. But true spiritual activation begins when you open your heart to the Most High without restraint. Your weaknesses become doors for divine strength. Your fears become pathways for divine courage. Your confusion becomes an invitation for divine wisdom. When you stop pretending before God, your spirit begins to heal, align, and expand. Vulnerability does not make you fragile, it makes you spiritually powerful. The fourth step is honoring your inner truth. Every chosen one has a voice within them that speaks with quiet authority. This voice is your divine compass. It tells you when to stay and when to leave. It warns you when danger approaches. It guides you when opportunities arise. To activate your marks, you must learn to trust this inner truth even when others do not understand. Following your inner truth does not mean rejecting advice. It means knowing that no external voice carries more weight than the voice within your spirit. When you choose authenticity over approval, your divine identity strengthens. The fifth step is releasing relationships that restrict your growth. A chosen one cannot fully activate their identity while tied to individuals who drain their energy or diminish their purpose. You must evaluate who adds to your spiritual alignment and who hinders it. This does not require anger or resentment. It requires clarity. Some people were part of your past but cannot enter your future. Some relationships were seasonal and have now expired. When you release what no longer aligns you, create space for divine connections that support your destiny. Activation often begins the moment you stop fighting for what God is trying to remove. The sixth step is embracing spiritual discipline. A chosen one's power grows through consistency. You activate your marks when you commit to practices that raise your spiritual vibration and strengthen your connection to heaven. This may include prayer, reflection, fasting, or simply spending intentional time in spiritual awareness. These practices refine your mind, purify your heart, and develop your authority. Discipline is not restriction, it is empowerment. It transforms your raw potential into spiritual strength. When you walk in discipline, your divine marks become sharper, clearer, and more influential. The seventh step is walking in courage. Activation requires movement. You cannot hide your gifts while expecting your purpose to unfold. You must step out even when you feel unprepared. Courage does not eliminate fear. It overrides it. Every chosen one is called to moments that stretch them beyond their comfort zone. These moments reveal the strength within them. When you act boldly, you signal to heaven that you are ready for greater responsibility. Courage unlocks blessings, opportunities, and divine encounters that remain hidden when you choose fear. This is your season to move with purpose rather than hesitation. The eighth step is accepting your spiritual authority. A natural-born chosen one carries influence that cannot be taught. Darkness knows it, people sense it, environments react to it. To activate your marks, you must stop doubting this authority. You were designed to bring clarity where there is confusion, peace where there is turmoil, and truth where there is deception. When you speak from alignment, your words carry weight. When you stand firm, your presence shifts atmospheres. When you step into a role of leadership, your authority becomes undeniable. You must walk as someone who knows they are chosen, not as someone hoping to be. The ninth step is embracing alignment with divine timing. Chosen ones often become frustrated when things do not unfold on their schedule, but activation requires patience. You must trust that heaven is managing the details of your life with precision. What is meant for you will never be denied, but it will arrive when your spirit is prepared to handle it. When you align with divine timing, frustration fades and peace rises. You stop chasing outcomes and begin flowing with spiritual rhythm. This alignment unlocks opportunities organically and guides you into experiences you could never force on your own. Chosen one. If your spirit resonates with this awakening, you may comment 999 to acknowledge your readiness for activation, but only if your heart genuinely aligns with the moment. Now that you understand how to embrace and activate these 9 marks, you are prepared for the transformation that has been waiting for you. Your life is entering a season of clarity, strength, and divine elevation. Conclusion. A final call to rise into your God-given identity. Chosen one, now that you have walked through every layer of this message, you can no longer return to the version of yourself that once lived in hiding. This revelation did not reach you by accident. It arrived in your life at the exact moment your spirit was ready to understand what it has been sensing for years. These 9 marks have shaped your journey, influenced your battles, and guided your growth long before you had language for them. Today, you finally saw the truth behind your experiences. You are a natural-born chosen one, marked, refined, and prepared by the Most High. As you move forward, do not shrink again. Do not apologize for your sensitivity, your discernment, your authority, your compassion, or your divine separation. These qualities are not burdens. They are spiritual tools placed within you for a purpose that is greater than anything you have faced. You are stepping into a season where your identity must stand strong. Hiding is no longer an option. Silence is no longer acceptable. Doubt is no longer allowed to define your decisions. Your next chapter requires visibility, courage, and alignment. The world may not fully understand you, and that is fine. You were never meant to be understood by everyone. You were meant to be recognized by heaven and revealed at the right time. That time has arrived. Chosen one, rise. Walk with clarity. Move with authority. Embrace the identity God placed within you. Your destiny is calling, and now that you finally see who you are, nothing can stop the divine unfolding that waits ahead.